hotel in the town of Trail Dust.
Mommy, I'm tired. So am I.
Small wonder. It was a bumpy ride from Tucson. I too am exhausted.
If you'll follow me, folks. Gabby? Gabby? Gabby!
Whoa!
Customers from the Tucson stage.
Why didn't you say so?
I just did.
Excuse me, driver.
Name's Cactus Kate. Call me Cactus Kate. I like all my customers to call me Cactus Kate.
You did say this is the finest hotel in the Arizona Territory?
She qualified that, Mrs. Juniper. Finest hotel in the town of Trail Dust.
It's probably the only hotel in town.
Smart kid. Gabby!
Hold on a minute, can't you? I'm on the way.
That's Gabby Ways. You'll enjoy meeting him. He's a real character.
How long will we be in Trail Dust?
Just long enough to feed and rest the horses, Mr. Gray. You folks, set yourselves down. Gabby's a good cook, and I reckon you're ready for some victuals. Go on, sit.
I could do with a cup of tea.
I wonder if the kitchen is sanitary.
Mind your manners, Letty.
Gabby,
I'm on the way. Don't give up hope. Be there in half a shake of a lamb's tail. Yup.
try to get here before Christmas.
You ain't calling hogs to slop, you know. I said I'm on the way, and here I be. Howdy, ladies. Sir, welcome to the Trail Dust Hotel.
These folks are traveling on to Yuma.
Mighty hot in Yuma.
It was a bumpy ride from Tucson.
And a dusty one.
We're parched.
Step into the dining room, and I'll pour you a nice glass of sarsaparilla.
Never. Where intoxicating beverages are dispensed, a true lady never ventures. It would be inconceivable.
What she say?
You know I can't understand fancy talk.
A pot of tea, please.
Ain't got no tea. How about coffee?
It will have to do, I suppose.
That's too bad.
Why is that?
Fresh out of coffee.
And why do you suggest it?
Common courtesy.
Finest hotel. Were you a cowboy?
Was Gabby Ways a cowboy?
Let me answer that, Cactus Kate.
Tell it like it was, Gabby.
Was Gabby Ways a cowboy?
Well, were you?
Girlie, you're looking at the last real cowboy in the Arizona Territory. I may be headed for my last roundup, but I got my memories. Yup. I've buried many a pal on Boot Hill. I made my clothes out of rawhide. I could ride anything that had hair. I've been scalped and left for dead on the old Chisholm Trail. Chuck wagon's been my home. I've eaten Roadrunner for supper and washed it down with my own sweat. I've been a Bronco buster, Pony Express rider, pals with Billy the Kid, Sam Bass, Jesse James. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie.
I think he's fallen asleep.
Certainly looks that way.
Gabby,
I'm a piece of the Old West, no ordinary cowpoke. You're looking at a legend, girlie. A fading legend, I admit. But I'm the real McCoy. Yup.
these folks don't want to hear all that old-timer stuff. Fetch up some victuals.
How about a bowl of chili?
Did you make it?
I made the chili. Some Indian made the bowl.
You're gabbing too much, Gabby.
Oh, no, you don't. You know the rules. Hand it over.
Aw, shucks, Gabby. I
Rules
forgot.
is rules.
What's the old timer talking about?
This.
Ah,
Now look what you made me do.
I'll take that. You can get it back when you leave town, like always.
I'm afraid we don't understand.
Guns ain't allowed inside town limits.
But this is the Wild West.
Don't matter. You're in trail dust.
Guns may not be allowed, but flowers certainly are. These are lovely.
You'll see flowers everywhere you look, especially today. But no guns.
Why is that?
It's a long story. Want to hear it?
Not if you're going to fall asleep again.
Letty, mind your manners.
Folks is always wondering why there ain't no shooting irons in trail dust. And old Gabby here is going to tell you. It all started that strange day when an old prospector named the Saddle Blanket Rollins came into the hotel to borrow some money from Whiplash. He ran the town. Some folks said Whiplash weren't honest, but you wouldn't say that to his face. No sirree.
I never can remember Hop-a-Lot. Is it black 7 on red 8 or red 7 on the black?
Fish.
You lame brain, I ain't playing fish. I'm playing solitaire.
I ain't interested in playing cards. I have a powerful thirst. I want to wet my whistle. Where is that lazy Gabby Waste?
Where he always is. Nowhere.
Gabby!
Whoa!
Gin!
I thought I told you two galoots to lay low. The whole town's out looking for the cattle rustlers who stole Andy Allen's herd.
Who cares what a bunch of lily-livered citizens think, boss?
Yeah, who cares?
I care. I run everything in this town to my benefit, but I want folks to think that I'm on the up and up. Some citizens are even talking of getting a sheriff for Dusty Trail.
I don't like sheriffs.
Me neither, boss.
If they get one, we'll get rid of them.
Yeah.
Sheriffs is bad luck.
Don't start thinking for yourselves.
We're not stupid, boss. You can trust us not to think.
That's what I call a sure bet. Where'd you hide them moves?
Up on Dead Man's Mesa. They'll never find him there.
They better not. Tell the rest of the boys to keep out of sight for a spell.
Good as done, boss.
I'm on the way. Don't give up hope. Be there and half shake the lamb's tail. Yup.
Don't shake a lamb's tail, shake a lamb.
You ought to get rid of him, boss. He's useless.
I like to keep him around. He gives the hotel a certain atmosphere.
So would a mangy old goat, but I wouldn't want him wandering around.
You'd think a piece of the Old West would get a little more respect.
Get me a whiskey.
Shouldn't drink whiskey. It's bad for you.
I pay you to cook and clean up. Never mind the advice.
You ought to drink milk.
Milk.
It's good for the blood.
I ain't bloodthirsty. I changed my mind. I want a ginger ale.
Pale?
No, in a glass.
One glass of snappy.
Wait a minute. Is that a cigarette butt on the floor?
Where?
There.
Yeah. You can have it. You saw it first.
What's all the fuss? I could hear y'all from upstairs.
It's that lazy Gabby Waste. Never got anything to say, but keeps right on saying it.
What about the cows?
Safe and snug on Dead Man's Mesa.
That's right, Pearl. Safe and snug on Dead Man's Mesa.
Safe and snug on Dead Man's Mesa.
Safe and snug on
Dead Man's Mesa.
Safe and snug on
Dead. Can't you take a little joke, boss?
Joke? What joke?
I don't know, but I'm gonna give them the punchline.
Safe and snug on Dead Man's Mesa.
Safe and snug on
Dead Man's Mesa. Oh!
Your turn, Alibi.
Easy, boss. Easy. Please! Please! Please!
How about a little cheese with that one?
Honestly, Whip, you ought to get yourself a new gang. This bunch is gonna get us into trouble. Glowworms are brighter.
I'm running the Whiplash gang, Pearl of the Pecos. And don't you forget it.
Anything you say, you've got the whip hand.
Mr. Lodge? Mr. Lodge? Sir?
Now what?
It's that old prospector, Saddle Blanket Rollins.
I know who he is.
What's he want?
How should I know?
I need something, Mr. Lash.
How about a bath?
My mind! My mind!
His mind's going.
My copper mine!
You mean you hit a copper vein?
Eureka!
No such luck. But I know I'm close.
Loser.
All I need is another grub stick, and I'll have pay dirt.
Another little grub stake, and all you'll hit is plain dirt. You're already into me for $300. You swore you'd strike copper.
We believed you.
I'm this close. No, this close. Better make it this close.
I want my 300 back.
With interest.
That's right, with interest. That was $300 at 99% compounded daily. Not counting penalties for being a loser.
You owe Whiplash a lot of money, Saddle Blanket.
I'm no loser. I'll pay it back. Every penny.
No sense in throwing good money after bad.
You mean gonna advance me a small loan?
Now you're getting the picture.
I don't need much. Not much more than that. Just a little. A few dollars would do me.
Fat chance.
I'm begging, Mr. Lash, begging.
You ought to beg Mr. Lash's pardon for taking up his valuable time.
Pearl of the Pecos is right. I'm a busy man. Busy.
Oh! Oh! Ah!
What's the matter with him?
Oh!
You want some iodine, Saddle Blanket?
Ah! Oh! Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah!
What's wrong with him?
Shucks. That's easy enough to see. Old Saddle Blanket has kicked the bucket.
Extra, extra! Read all about it! Trail Dust Dispatch! Cattle rustlers strike again! Citizens demand a sheriff!
What's that you're yelling about, Sally Sutton?
Not more bad news. I'm afraid so, Mrs. Norton. Indy Allen was hit last night. Some no good cattle rustlers made off with his herd.
Mercy! I'm certain my husband, the mayor, will want a copy of your special edition.
Reading about crime won't help. As mayor, he really should be doing something about Whiplash and his gang.
Now, Sally, my husband, the mayor, says there's no proof Whiplash is behind all the lawlessness in Trail Dust. But then who is?
Whiplash runs a crooked game of cards with that Pearl of the Pecos over at the hotel. Her dice are loaded and her chuckle luck never pays off.
Lash does charge a high rate of interest when folks borrow money from him. This town needs a real bank.
It needs more than that. It needs law and order. If a freight wagon's been looted or a stagecoach held up, the Whiplash gang is always nearby.
The wild west.
I intend to help tame the wild west.
Goodness, Sally Sutton. What can one small town newspaper editor do?
Wait and see. Extra, extra! Read all about it! Trail Dust Dispatch.
I do so admire Sally Sutton. She's got gumption. But my husband, the mayor, says she's headed for a heap of trouble. Always criticizing Whiplash with no proof. You can't trifle with a man like that without paying a price. Sally Sutton ain't the trifling kind. What did she mean by wait and see? Let's ask her. Sally? Sally? Well, wait for me.
There's blood on the saddle and blood on the ground, and a great big puddle of blood all around.
Good day to you, Gabby.
Howdy, Mayor Norton.
Tisk, tisk. Gabby, can't you see the black sash? I am here in capacity as town undertaker.
I reckon you expect to be paid for burying poor old Saddle Blanket.
That is a logical assumption. Is Mr. Lash about? I would like a word with him.
He's in the dining room playing dominoes with Pearl the Pecos. He likes to stay close to the cashews.
Would you be so kind to fetch him?
Don't see they've got much choice. Oh, pity the cowboy, all gory and red. A bronco fell on him and bashed in his head.
If it isn't one thing, it's another.
Extra, extra! Read all about it! Trail dust dispatch! Cattle rustlers strike again!
Good day, Sally Sutton.
Oh, it's you, Mayor Norton, the very man I was hoping to see.
If you wish to see the mayor of Trail Dust, I suggest you make an appointment. Today, I am the town undertaker.
Mayor? Undertaker? What difference does it make? They're both you. Read all about it, Mayor.
Cattle rustlers strike again. Andy Allen wiped out. Tisk, tisk. Shocking news. Shocking.
Every penny Andy had in this world was invested in those cows.
Tisk, tisk.
This town needs a sheriff.
Not that again. That's all I hear from my wife.
Then why don't you listen?
That's no way to speak to the mayor.
I'm not speaking to the mayor. I'm speaking to the town undertaker.
That's different.
You wanted to see me, Norton?
Mr. Norton is more dignified for the town undertaker.
Whatever you say, Mayor. I'm easy to get along with. Always a pleasure to see you, Miss Sutton.
I'm not fooled by your oily manners. You can't pull the wool over my eyes.
That depends on the yarn. You know, if I wasn't a gentleman, I'd take offense at all those things that you write about me in the dispatch.
Always hinted whip is up to no good.
One of these days, I'll do more than hint.
I stand on my reputation.
A slippery place. I suppose you don't know anything about the loss of Andy Allen's cattle?
Why should I? I'm not a cowpoke. I'm a businessman.
Ha!
About Saddle Blanket's burial, there's no money in the town treasury for planting poppers.
Saddle Blanket owned a copper mine. He wasn't a pauper.
I couldn't find 2 bits on the body. All he had in paper was a pawn ticket for a Chinese lantern.
Was it a nice planting?
I put a black plume on the hearse mule, and Mrs. Norton sang "Oh Promise Me."
You don't sing "Oh Promise Me" at a funeral.
It's the only song she knows. She sings it at every occasion.
You could help out with the expenses, can't you, Whip?
It would be my pleasure. I liked old Saddle Blanket. He was like a father to me. The plantain's on Whiplash.
Excellent.
Bravo.
Why don't you mention my good deed in the dispatch, Miss Sutton?
If you're performing a good deed, there's something in it for you.
Watch it, Sally Sutton. No woman talks to me that way.
You've been meeting the wrong kind of woman.
Is that a slap at me?
If the shoe fits.
Boss, 2 sound stages pulling into town.
So?
Someone tried to hold it up.
What was the stagecoach carrying? A strongbox, maybe?
Never mind about that, boss. One of the passengers drove the bandits off.
What?
Thank goodness. Come, Sally Sutton. We must question the driver.
I've got a good feeling about this.
My
Hold
shoe?
on there, Mayor.
My shoe always fits.
Sir,
I need your professional advice.
in what capacity?
You're a lawyer, aren't you?
A graduate of the Pimple and Boyle Law College, Boston, Massachusetts.
Boss, what about the stagecoach?
Get out of here before I crack leather.
Okay, I'm gone. What a clump.
How about a quick cut of the cards, Mayor Norton? A chance to win back what you've already lost.
No, Pro of the Pecos. Mrs. Norton has laid down the law. If she catches me turning one pasteboard, she'll lock me out of the house. She has no tolerance for gambling.
Some other time, perhaps?
One can always hope.
Take a look at this.
What is this?
It's a lien on Saddle Blanket's mine. I advanced him money for the digging. I just want to make sure that it's legal.
Yes, perfectly legal. I'd recognize Saddle Blanket's miserable scrawl anywhere. Of course, you understand, you'll have to deal with Saddle Blanket's heirs to get your money back.
Saddle Blanket didn't have no relatives. Whip made sure of that before he gave him the money. Oh, sorry.
Saddle Blanket never found spit. But just to make sure that there's no copper in that mine, I've sent for the traveling assayer who camps out by Pinto Basin.
If there's no heir and the assayer turns in a positive report, you've got yourself a copper mine.
Wouldn't that be wonderful, Whip?
I never count lemons before they hatch.
Did I ever tell you about the time I rode the Belle Star? Well, the thing most folks don't know about Belle is she had a hollow leg. And when it rained...
Oh, shut up!
Yup.
Now what?
It sounds like a big celebration.
In this one-hearse town? Sorry, Mayor.
They're heading this way, they're coming in.
You should have seen it, Lash. You should have been there.
What are you talking about?
The attempt to hold up the stage. I was carrying government money for the soldier boys over at Camp Verde.
Cactus Kate said he rode a shotgun. Who?
Him.
The outlaws didn't stand a chance. Who rode shotgun?
Did I ever tell you about the time I rode a shotgun for Wells Fargo? Well, we was driving through Apache country and,
Shut up!
I'm afraid I don't understand all of this talk. Perhaps you could clarify matters, my dear.
It's really quite simple, husband. According to Cactus Kate, the stage was attacked by a gang of hold-up men.
Meanest bunch of rattlesnakes I ever did see. Even with bandanas over their ugly faces.
Only he drew a bead on them and held them off.
I lashed the ponies, pounded dust, and thundered into town. The strong box is as safe as the day it was created.
Hooray! Those soldier boys over at Camp Verde owe him a lot.
Him. Him. You keep saying him. He. Him.
did I ever tell you about the time I rode with Him? Him was a Dakota Sioux who lost his way on a buffalo hunt. Bravest Indian I ever knew. Anyway, one day when we were down on our luck, didn't have nothing to eat but some green gooseberries.
Oh,
shut up! Yup.
Law and order has come to trail dust Slash.
Long overdue.
I don't follow your drift. I mean drift.
I'll make it easy for you. Everyone, let me formally introduce to you Mr. Johnny Wright, the man who cleaned up the lawless town of Flagstaff, and our new sheriff.
Sheriff?
S-H-E-R-I-F-F.
Spell
sheriff!
Well, whoop-de-doo and yippee-o-ki-yay.
Would you come in now, Sheriff Wright?
Howdy!
Howdy, Sheriff! Why did you come in the back way?
I never knew what folks expect, Miss Sutton. That's why Johnny Wright's the best lawman in the West.
Johnny Wright, he's the fastest gun in the West.
Now see here, Miss Sutton, you had no right to engage a lawman. There's no money in the town treasury to pay him.
I'll find a way.
Maybe Mr. Lash could help out?
I'm a little short this month.
Miss Sutton has been writing me all the going-ons and trailers. Robberies, cattle rustling, cheating at cards,
Is that a dig at me?
if the shoe fits. But I'm a fair and honest man. I never bite until I'm sure of my meal. Let all the miscreants and outlaws get the message. The Tin Star has come to trailers. There's a new coyote in town, and his name is Johnny Wright.
Johnny Wright.
Put it there, Sheriff. It's an honor to meet you.
No offense, but I would shake a man's hand until I know him real well.
If there's anything I can do to help you get settled in, Sheriff, just whistle.
Hussy?
I'm not sure if I like this. After all, I should have been informed.
My husband's right. He's the mayor.
What's done is done. I, for one, think that Miss Sutton has done a commendable thing. Welcome to Trail Dust, Sheriff. You'll like it here. It's a friendly little town.
Ain't no use you trying to stop me, Winter Jones.
Oh, Andy.
I know it was the Whiplash gang what stole my herd.
Oh, Andy.
Whiplash is a low-down, mean, miserable crook. His pearly white smile don't fool me none.
Oh, Andy.
I don't know where he hid my cattle, but I'm going to find out.
Oh, Andy.
If I can't find my cattle, I'm going to shoot it out with Whiplash.
Oh, Andy.
You can't ride Buckshot over a small rancher and hope to get away with it. The law of the West can deal with him.
Oh, Andy.
I'm wasting time. The fat's in the fire. It's him or me. Can't be no other way.
Oh, Andy.
Talk about the breaks. Whip was real annoyed when he got this letter from Saddle Blanket's sister. I wonder who told her he was gone for good.
I never knew he had a sister.
Who did? Now she's coming to town to claim her inheritance. She'll be here on the next stage.
I heard the Tucson station pulling in right about now.
How long we gotta wait for the assayer's reports?
She's due any minute.
How come it took her so long? A whole week?
Why ask me? I don't know anything about copper.
Most assayers give you a report right away.
File a complaint with the boss.
I hear someone mention the boss.
The boys was wondering why it took the assayers a whole week to do the job.
Why ask me? I don't know anything about copper.
I already said that.
You boys tell the others we're moving the herd in a few days. There's a buyer on the border.
Right, boss.
Right.
There's a buyer on the border. There's a buyer on the border.
Better get the whip.
There's a buyer on the border.
Hash with
There's
the
a
lad.
buyer on the border. No, boss, no. We'll be good.
When things ain't funny, don't laugh.
Sure, boss. Sure.
Pair of idiots.
Never mind about them.
It's too bad Saddle Blanket's sister gets the mine.
If there's nothing there, she's welcome to it.
Good day, Winnedoll. About time you got here. Obviously, you wanted the job done fast. Not good. I'm no ordinary assayer.
Of course you ain't. You're a woman.
I mean, gold and silver is merely a sideline. You were interested in copper? That requires a mineralogist. I'm happy to say Henrietta Geyser is the best traveling mineralogist in the Arizona Territory. Imagine that. She's a mineralogist.
Imagine.
Wow.
What's
a mineralogist? I deal with the science of minerals. Any substance, not animal or vegetable in origin.
Cut out all that high school stuff and tell me what I'm paying you for. Any copper in that mine?
There isn't enough copper in that mine to make a penny.
Ooh.
However, the mine sits atop a mountain of fossilized shells.
Shells?
What kind of shells? From the ocean?
millions of years ago. Congratulations.
What good is a mountain of old seashells?
The calcium content is highly valued for use in flour, all kinds of medical preparations, and best of all, chicken feed.
Chicken feed?
That old mine is sitting on top of a fortune in chicken feed potential.
Chicken feed.
I have my written report here and some shell samples. What are we going to do with? There's a fortune in chicken feed staring us in the face. And Saddle Blanket's sister is on the next stage. By the way, I saw the Tucson stage pulling in when I came down the boardwalk. If Saddle Blanket's sister hears about that chicken feed.
I've got to get Henrietta Geyser out of town. Fast. Miss Geyser,
Yes?
thank you so much for your good work. I'm impressed. I trust that you'll keep this news confidential.
Confidential. Why?
I have my reasons. Hold out your hand. Shall we say, this is for your work. This is for your silence. And this is for getting out of town as soon as the next stage leaves. That'll be shortly.
You make it sound as if you're bribing me. How about another 10 spots? I'm on my way.
Out the back way, if you don't mind. And keep your mouth shut.
When money talks, I'm silent.
These shells is mighty pretty.
Put one up to your ear and see if you can hear the ocean.
Put down the bottles and get out of here. You're getting on my nerves.
We never have any fun. We never have any fun.
Idiots.
Imagine a fortune in chicken feed.
Don't forget the calcium.
I'll stick with the chicken feed. I understand chicken feed. What are you going to do about the sister?
I'm thinking.
You can't get away with the lash.
It's Andy Allen.
I got eyes.
It was you who rustled my cattle. Don't deny it.
You're talking through your hat.
I ain't wearing a hat.
Oh, Andy! You got whiplash all wrong, Andy.
Have I? I don't think so. That herd was all I had except for 50 acres, down by the creek.
You own that property?
Free and clear.
Tell you what I'm gonna do. You need money, bad. Put up your property. You win, and I'll pay you twice what it's worth. I like to help out a man who's in need. I'm funny that way. You lose, and I get the acreage. One cut of the cards.
I don't trust you.
In that case, we'll let Pearl of the Pecos cut the deck.
Oh, no, Auntie, you mustn't. She's a gambling woman.
What? Warder Jones, that's the first time I ever heard you say a complete sentence.
With double the win, you could buy a new herd.
I'll do it.
Oh, Auntie!
Go on, Pearl of Pecos. Shuffle them cards before I change my mind.
Double your money, cowboy.
What are you waiting for? Scared?
Andy Allen ain't scared of nothing. Ain't scared of a deck of cards, that's for sure.
Cut.
The King of Hearts! The King of Hearts winner!
Oh, Auntie! My turn. Ace of diamonds. Too bad, cowboy.
You cheated! It's true what everybody says about your dealing. I don't know how you did it, but you cheated!
That's enough of that, Alan. You lost fair and square. The land down by the creek is now mine.
I'm ruined because you lash.
Prove it.
I'll do more than prove it. Go on, lads, draw and never carry Derringer.
You've gone crazy in the head, Alan.
I said draw.
Got any crayons?
Draw.
Let's have no trouble here. Drop the gun, and nobody gets hurt. Drop it.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna keep your gun. You can pick it up in a couple of days when you've cooled off.
They robbed me. I ain't gonna forget this.
Oh, Andy!
Much obliged, Sheriff.
It's a good thing you got here when you did.
I've been keeping my eye on Andy Allen.
He's got a disliking towards you, Lash. Seems like a lot of people do.
A prosperous businessman is always misunderstood.
Maybe.
How about a glass of sarsaparilla?
I wouldn't say no.
I'll only be a minute.
Take your time. I want to have a job with Lash here.
Pearl likes you.
Some bad types work for you, Lash.
Gossip. Maybe you'd like to work for me. I can make it worth your while.
If you haven't noticed, I've already got a job.
A brief interview is on. I
Ain't got nothing to tell.
wouldn't take long.
Waste of time. Where's Whiplash?
You're looking at it.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dolly Roger.
Jolly Roger?
No, Dolly. Saddle Lincoln's sister. I'm a widow. Didn't you get my letter?
I got it.
I understand you're the fellow that's got a lien on Saddle Lincoln's copper mine.
That old mine is worthless.
I suspect it is. Saddle Blanket was kind of worthless too. Still, he was my brother.
That's the sort of thing I'd like to write about. Your memories of your brother. Folks would be mighty interested.
Haven't seen him in over 20 years. Don't remember much about him. How much did Saddle Blanket owe you on the mine?
What good is a worthless mine to you?
I never thought of that, especially since I'm moving to San Diego to live.
Saddle Blanket was like a father to me.
Oh, please.
I would like to have something of his to remember him by.
How about an old boot?
I can still see him working that worthless pile of dirt.
You've got good eyesight.
Wouldn't that be wonderful, Whip? If you owned that worthless mine, you could visit it every day and think about old Saddle Blanket, your dear, departed friend.
Oh, Jolly Roger,
Dolly.
would you be willing to sell me that worthless mine for sentimental reasons?
I'd sell it to you for cash.
How much would you want?
I'd like a new house when I move to San Diego.
No problem.
Here's your sarsaparilla, Johnny.
Call me Sheriff.
Of course, you'll have to sign over the deed.
No problem.
I've got it right here. Your brother gave me the deed as security when I loaned him the money.
How's that sarsaparilla, Sheriff?
Wet.
How does $5,000 sound?
For a worthless copper mine?
10 would sound better.
There's 10 here. Shall I count it out?
You look like an honest man. I'm sure you wouldn't cheat me. Where do I sign?
On the bottom.
There's a pen on the registration desk.
If I hurry, I can make it on the stage before it leaves. I won't have to waste money on a hotel room.
Stage pulls out in about 3 minutes.
I'll make it. Done. I know Saddle Blanket's looking down and feeling happy.
Or looking up.
Nice to have met you all. It's been a brief but profitable trip.
For you, don't you even want to visit the mine?
Why should she? It's only a worthless pile of dirt. Anyone else would have offered her chicken feed.
Oh,
Sorry.
I don't want to miss the stage.
Your brother had a nice funeral. The mayor's wife sang, "Oh, promise me." How do you like that? She just took the money and ran.
One time when I was drifting along tumbling tumbleweed through the Nas Reed Basin.
Oh, shut up!
Yup.
Looks like you just bought yourself a pile of dirt, Lash.
anything wrong with that?
Lash can't help being sentimental.
Isn't this exciting?
What are you talking about, Minerva?
She is just so lovely. Who would ever think she was related to old Saddle Blanket?
You mean Saddle Blanket's sister?
Dolly Roger.
No, I mean Saddle Blanket's niece, Annabelle Rollins.
Niece.
I didn't know he had a niece.
For a man with supposedly no relatives, Saddle Blanket had a big family.
With the flower. Every gun with a flower.
I hope everyone will attend.
Attend what?
It's her.
Miss Rollins is having a town meeting tonight.
I understand you claim to be Saddle Blanket Rollins' niece.
Imposter.
I don't claim to be anything I'm not. I'm no imposter.
This is wonderful. It will make a splendid piece for the dispatch. I'm Sally Sutton.
She is the newspaper editor.
Nice to meet you, Miss Sutton. You can be useful.
Call me Sally.
This handbill doesn't make any sense.
It makes wonderful sense. I might have written it myself.
You want to ban guns in the Wild West?
Inside town limits, yes. The Wild West must be tamed for the sake of women and children and all good citizens. I have made this my life's mission.
Wonderful, wonderful.
It's her, all right. The girl I met in Flagstaff a few months ago. I hadn't been able to get her out of my head.
Who are you talking to, Sheriff?
To myself, I guess. Sorry.
We've been traveling from town to town preaching our cause.
This is my good friend and coworker, Judy Ford.
Very interesting. But how did you know that your uncle died?
Well, I wrote her.
You?
I knew the family. I knew the mine didn't belong to Saddle Blanket. It belonged to his brother, Mo.
Mo?
We didn't know Saddle Blanket had a brother. Why didn't you tell us?
You didn't ask.
The mine belonged to Daddy. He only let Uncle Saddle Blanket work it so he'd have some place to live. Now that both brothers have gone into their reward, the mine is legally mine.
You don't own that mine. I do.
Lash does.
I don't imagine you'll remember me, man. We met in Flagstaff. You dropped your handkerchief, and I retrieved it for you.
I recall, yes. Only, I lost the handkerchief again.
He's the lawman who cleaned up Flagstaff. Johnny Wright, the fastest gun in the West.
The same. But I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding, Miss Rollins.
What kind of misunderstanding?
A woman named, Jolly Roger.
Dolly.
Sold the mine to Mr. last year. He owns the hotel.
We shall require rooms.
Our luggage is over at the express office.
I don't know of any relative named Dolly Roger, but I can assure you I am the rightful heir.
But Dolly Rogers said that she was the rightful heir.
That's true, Miss Rollins.
I assure you, Sheriff, I have all the proof needed. Saddle Blanket's birth certificate, the deed to the mine, family photographs.
I've got the deed.
Obviously a forgery.
What a story this'll make.
This sounds like a court case to me. We'll have to have the circuit judge sort out matters.
I got proof I'm the legal owner.
So do I, Mr.
Lash,
I would consider it an honor to show you the town.
I'd like that, Sheriff.
oh, I'll come along too.
We'll all come along.
only been here a week or so, but I discovered a number of interesting things about trail dust.
I don't like the way that sheriff says things.
That makes two of us. Sooner or later, we'll have to get rid of that meddler. He's trouble. I don't like trouble.
What if that girl was telling the truth? Saddle Blanket could have told you he owned the mine just to get a grub stake. He could have forged the deed. That sly old fox.
No one's getting my chicken feed. If she's telling the truth, we'll have to find some way to get rid of her too. Even if it means
There's something I want to tell you folks. Let's see now. Was it about the time Sitting Bull sat on me? No. Maybe it was the time I was in Tombstone and lost my gold tooth in a poker game. That's not it. I remember. It's time for intermission. See you all back here in 10 minutes.
rain bullets. Oh, Annabelle.
It can be done.
The ladies will pass among you and distribute handbills explaining my crusade.
Ladies?
It's not only your future that's at stake. It's the future of your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, the future of all the territory west of the Mississippi. Miss Ford and I have brought along a supply of wildflower seeds. I say plant seeds, not cowboys! Thank you for coming and good night.
You have a powerful voice for a fine young lady.
I can be quite convincing when I'm crusading.
I can see that.
I'm surprised to see you here, Sheriff.
What?
I shouldn't think my talk on outlawing weaponry would interest the fastest gun in the West.
I'm the sheriff. Everything in Trail Dust interests me. Now, about that handkerchief.
The one I lost twice in Flagstaff?
It's not lost. I have it here with me.
Why, yes. That's it.
You dropped it on the stage, headed to Muddy Flats.
And you kept it? All this time? Why?
Because the blue of the hanky reminds me of the blue of your eyes.
You look like a gunslinger, but you talk like a poet. The blue of this hanky reminds me of the blue of your eyes.
Have I said something to upset you, Miss Annabelle?
No. It's just a little vibration. It's nothing.
I was wondering, Miss Annabelle, if you would do me the great honor of having supper with me sometime. I'll have Gabby Wade's set the table with candles and flowers.
Candles and flowers? That's so romantic. I'm afraid I couldn't have supper with you if you wore that sidearm. It's against my principles.
But Miss Annabelle, I'm the sheriff.
Guns always make me sad.
I'll have to think about it.
You do that, Sheriff. You think about it.
Maybe if you're real nice, Miss Annabelle will let you have supper with her.
Careful.
Ignore them, Johnny. Sorry. I called you Johnny instead of Sheriff.
No, I like it that way.
You hear that, Buckshot? The sheriff likes it that way. I think he's got his eye on little Miss Annabelle.
Mighty interesting talk you gave, Miss Annabelle. It was stupid, but it was interesting. How about a kiss?
If you backs ain't moving by the count of 3, I'm gonna give you a hot foot of lead. Go on, make my day.
Let's go. Yeah. Catch you later, Sheriff.
I hope they didn't upset you too much, Miss Annabelle.
That's just the sort of thing I'm talking about. I'll never accept it.
Does that mean we can't have supper tonight, Miss Annabelle? Miss Annabelle!
service. Landlord!
Whoa! Who's doing all the squealing?
I've been ringing the bell for the last 5 minutes.
What do you want from me? A cigar?
Really?
I was out back in the kitchen. I was whipping up a batch of trail mix cookies.
I shall require lodging. 1 or 2 nights. I need rest.
Sign the ledger. If you can't write your name, make your mark.
Don't be impertinent. I can read and write. I understand education counts for nothing in this part of the country.
Don't let Gabby Ways annoy you, ma'am. He's harmless.
Harmless, but rude.
Rude? You think I'm rude?
Oh, shut up.
Yup.
Get back to the kitchen.
My cookies is probably all burnt to cinders.
I'm Whiplash. I own the hotel.
I'm Mrs. Nellie Rectangle from Chicago, traveling on to California. The rest of my bags are over at the express office.
I'll have Gabby fetch them.
The circuit judge is on the way.
Pearl, meet our new guest, Mrs. Rectangle, from Chicago. Mrs. Rectangle, meet my business partner, Pearl of the Pecos.
Pearl of the Pecos? What an absurd name.
Try rectangle. You play cards?
There's no need to be vulgar.
If there's anything I can do to make your stay more pleasant, just give the word.
There is one thing you might do for me.
Name it.
You have a hotel safe.
Of course.
Is it safe?
It's a safe, yes.
I am carrying a unique diamond. It was my mother's. I shall give it to my daughter in California. She is about to be married.
Diamond?
Worth a king's ransom. That's why I want it locked away in the hotel safe. It's called the Star of Detroit.
The Star of Detroit. That must be some rock.
There's not another like it.
How about chances for a peek?
I don't see why not. I am very proud of the stone.
Wow.
What a hunk of sparkle.
They say diamonds are cold.
I have a feeling that diamond will soon be hot.
Did you say something, Mr. Rush?
I said I'd better lock up.
Excellent.
I'll show you to the best room in the hotel, Mrs. Neckmangle.
Rectangle. I always get the best. I expect the best.
I like your style. Follow me.
I don't suppose there's any music in Trail Dust.
The mayor's wife sings Oh Promise Me real good.
It's as I suspected, a cultural backwash.
I hope we can wrap up this matter with no ill feelings, Mr. Lash.
I gave the judge my evidence.
And Annabelle gave him her proof.
To tell the truth, Miss Rollins, I can't imagine why you'd want that old mine. It's worthless.
Then why do you want it?
Because I bought it. That's why.
Here comes the circuit judge.
Seems like the whole town's interested in that old mine of saddle blankets.
Nothing like a court case to bring out the public. Here comes the judge.
Big drill, make it go. Show some respect. Order. I won't stand for noisy outbursts when I'm conducting official legal business. Order. I said quiet.
You're the only one who's flapjawed.
What? So I am. Tisk.
That's my husband, the mayor.
We know.
Well, Mayor Norton,
Judge Norton?
Well, Judge Norton, have you gone over the evidence?
Yes, I have, Miss Rollins. I'm a scrupulous judge.
And a pretty good undertaker.
Order.
the mine is mine. Right, Judge?
I'm afraid not, Lash.
What?
All your proof looks bogus. The deed Miss Rollins has predates the deed Saddle Blanket gave to you. It was filled with misspellings, too.
Saddle Blanket never could spell.
But I bought the mine, fair and square.
Sheriff Wright has some news about that.
What kind of news, Judge?
I'll let him tell it. I hate watching disappointment.
Don't expect Lash to contribute to your next campaign, Mayor.
My husband can't be bought. Rented, yes, but not bought.
Here comes the sheriff.
Good timing, Sheriff.
Judge Norton says you have news for Lash.
Reckon I do.
I hope you're not bringing me bad news. I've had enough of it already.
A human person can only stand so much.
I think this will explain matters, Lash.
Let me see this.
By gummy, I can see it from here. It's a wanted poster.
A wanted poster?
Wanted. Confidence woman. Be on the lookout for San Francisco Sue, also known as Henrietta Geyser,
Henrietta?
and Kansas City Kitty, also known as Dolly Roger.
Jolly Roger?
Seems like Henrietta Geyser is a certified mineralogist. She knows her stuff. She locates a valuable mine, then tells people about it. Then some phony owner turns up and sells the mine to some dupe for a fancy price. Later on, he realizes that he spent a lot of money for something that don't belong to him. I recognized Dolly Rogers' picture as soon as I opened my mail.
I recognize both pictures.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The copper mine belongs to the niece. That's it for today. Sheriff, I'd like a word with you outside. It's about your salary.
I haven't been paid any.
That's what my husband, the mayor, wants to talk to you about.
Congratulations, Miss Annabelle.
Thank you, Johnny.
It ain't fair.
Name your price, Miss Rollins.
What makes you think I'll sell?
Money talks.
I'm not listening.
Why keep a dusty old pile of dirt?
It will remind me of my uncle.
Once she sets her mind to something, she's stubborn. Now what?
If anything happened to Annabelle, whoever inherited the mine would be easier to deal with.
You mean like an accidental accident on purpose?
Yeah. Of course. I could always marry her. I can be irresistible when I want to be.
I never noticed.
Boss, you gotta do something about Johnny Wright.
What's he done now?
He's riding up to Pincho Basin.
What?
He must have seen the herd.
That meddling lawman!
How come he ain't arrested no one?
He's biding his time, making sure he's got all the proof he needs.
You want we should ventilate him?
Bushwhack him when he ain't looking.
No, I've got a better idea.
You?
Things are a-changing in the West. If you gun down Johnny Wright, this whole town will be filled with federal marshals.
What's your plan?
Discredit him. Show the town he's no good. No one will believe anything he says after that.
How you gonna do it, Pearl?
I'll ask the question. How you gonna do it, Pearl?
You two make yourselves scarce. This takes brains, not muscle.
Aw, we never get to have any fun. Come on, Hoplot, let's see if Gabby's making cookies.
I hope he puts in raisins. I like raisins.
What's your plan?
Give me the key to the safe.
Why?
You'll find out.
Then it's agreed. You'll stay on without payment so I can take up the matter of your salary with the town council.
If that's the way it has to be. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mayor Norton, I'd like to have a word with Miss Annabelle.
I understand. A charming creature, Miss Annabelle. A charming creature.
not order sarsaparilla for me.
It's bad luck to drink sarsaparilla alone.
Some other time.
You afraid of Pearl of the Pecos?
I've seen scorpions before.
Be nice. I don't suppose you want any information about those cattle rustled from Andy Allen?
What do you know about that?
Plenty.
2 sarsaparillas. Who rang the bell?
Forget about the bell.
Yup.
It always saddens me to see a clever woman like you living a life of crime. Why do you do it?
The hours are good. Come on, handsome. Sit down. Down the hatchet.
Look! What?
Oh, I thought I saw a spider dropping down from the ceiling.
How spiders don't harm anyone?
Oh, I feel dizzy. I feel woozy. I feel weak.
Down the hatchet.
How was it?
Delicious!
Never mess with a clever woman, lawman. You will always lose. Lash.
Are you sure he's out cold?
When I use knockout drops, they work. See for yourself.
Don't ever try that trick with me.
Stop, John. Help me get him to his feet. We'll take him out the back way and dump him in an alley.
I don't want to get my hands dirty. Let Alibi or Hopalot do it.
Oh, come on. They'll only bungle it. I'll plant the key and the diamond on him.
How's he supposed to have gotten the key?
I'll say he gave me knockout drops and stole it.
You're good when you're bad, Pearl.
You're telling me.
Gunning down Whiplash, but I ain't giving up. No sirree, not Andy Allen.
Flowers, not guns, Andy.
I don't want to hear any more of that dumb talk. Flowers, not guns.
Those who live by the gun, die by the gun.
Go to the west.
I don't want anything to happen to you, Andy. You're such a nice boy.
Come here, always nagging me, Widow Jones. You ain't my mom.
Oh, Andy! Good evening, Miss Rollins, Miss Ford.
Evening, Widow Jones. Look, Annabelle, isn't that the sheriff? Johnny? Johnny?
Annabelle? Annabelle!
I think he's been drinking.
Never. I don't believe it.
He's certainly acting funny. Johnny, what's wrong?
I don't know. I feel spacey. I woke up in an alley.
An alley?
Last thing I remember is I was having a drink with the Pearl of the Bake-Offs. What's this?
A diamond.
A big diamond.
What, how'd it get into my pockets?
Perhaps someone put it there.
But why?
What's this?
A key.
Yeah, but to what?
Perhaps something is stamped on the key.
Hotel safe. Obviously, someone is trying to discredit me. It's an old trick. People have tried it on me before. I'll be accused of robbing the hotel safe and stealing this diamond. It's Pearl's doing. That means Lash is behind it. Figures.
Well, are you going to let them get away with it?
There's one more joker in this deck.
Where are you going?
I'm going to visit the scorpion in her nest.
I'll come with you.
I don't like scorpions! They sting!
The Star of Detroit. Gone!
What a story!
Get the sheriff!
This is scandalous! I should have never stopped in this wretched outpost of civilization. I should have known better.
I wonder who could have done such a thing.
How many keys to the safe?
Only one.
Who keeps the key?
Lash does.
But I let Pearl have it. I wanted a duplicate made.
My daughter's wedding present. A fortune. Gone! Miserable town have trailed us!
Now, Miss Octagon.
Rectangle.
There's no need to cast aspersions on the town's reputation.
I've made the need. I want something done. Find the thief!
You still have the key, Pearl?
Why no, I seem to have lost it.
Tisk, tisk.
That's it. Pearl lost the key, and the thief found it.
Never mind about the key. I want the return of my Star of Detroit.
Evening, all.
Nice timing, Sheriff.
There's been a robbery.
The hotel safe.
My beautiful diamond.
I don't imagine you mean this diamond by chance.
That's it. The Star of Detroit.
You stole it.
Don't be ridiculous. Why would he steal it and then hand it back? Good question.
What a relief.
This isn't how it was supposed to work out.
I reckon if I woke up in some alley and some folks found the diamond on me, they'd think I'd stolen. Wouldn't do too much for my reputation now, would it?
How do you happen to have it?
Easily explained. Pearl of the Pecos was afraid with all the crime and trailers. So she gave the diamond to me for safekeeping. I reckon you forgot, Pearl.
She has a bad memory.
That's the way it happened, isn't it, Pearl? Otherwise, you could be charged with obstructing justice, interfering with the law, aiding and abetting.
Those would be mighty serious crimes.
The sheriff's right. I forgot.
Of course you did. Here's your key back.
I shall keep the diamond with me.
There should be no trouble, ma'am. I'll be on guard.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you. I apologize for what I said about Trilda.
No hard feelings.
I'm glad things worked out okay.
We'd better get on over to town hall, Annabelle. It's almost time for our crusade meeting to start.
Yes, don't want to be late.
Join us, Mayor?
I have no choice. My wife insists.
Johnny?
I'll be there. If I were you, Lash, I wouldn't keep that safe open. Can't trust anyone these days.
No, Lash!
The other day, I was riding up to Pinto Basin. Funny thing, a heap of stray cattle were up that way. Most of them were wearing Andy Allen's brand.
That settles it. Alibi, Hopalot.
You fool! Put away that gun!
I've had enough of Johnny Wright.
What are you gonna do?
Get nasty.
Yeah, boss.
Hit the saddle. Ride out. Find me the Durango Kid.
The Durango Kid?
Meanest, nastiest hired gun in the West.
He never misses. If he does, he won't get paid.
You're playing with fire, Lash.
But I won't get burned. It'll be Johnny Wright. Make a reservation for the sheriff, Pearl.
For where?
Where else? Boot Hill.
That's him, all right. I'd recognize that kid anywhere.
The Durango Kid! The Durango Kid!
The Durango Kid!
He's gunning for the sheriff! Oh my, oh my! Oh, Lynn is gonna fly!
They say he tips his bullets with buckshot for luck.
They say he's nothing but a killing machine!
What are we going to do?
I don't know what you're gonna do, but I know what I'm gonna do.
What?
Run!
The Durango Kid!
What are you paying him, Lash?
Whatever the cost, it will be worth it to get rid of Johnny Wright.
He shot the sheriff over in Garlic Gulch.
He shot the sheriff over in Dole City.
He shot the sheriff over in dry water. In the back.
What is he? A man? Or a beast?
Both.
He's the Durango Kid.
Howdy.
Howdy, kid.
You Lash,
I'm Lash.
I got your message.
We done good, huh, boss?
Beginner's luck.
I understand you've got a little job for me.
Get rid of the sheriff. Make it look like a shootout.
A quarrel between you and him.
My pleasure.
Name your price.
It won't cost you a cent. I have a score to settle with Johnny Wright.
How come?
He ran me out of Tubac.
He ran me out Gila Bend. He ran me out Nogales. He ran me out Prescott.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was run out of Dodge City? Well, I was slinging hash at the Bell Union Hotel.
Oh, shut up!
Yup.
He's coming! Sheriff!
That's mighty good news.
Howdy, kid.
Johnny Wright.
I don't like the way you're holding that gun.
I don't aim to please.
I ran you out of Prescott. I ran you out of Gila Bend. And I ran you out of Nogales.
Got Prescott.
I ain't forgot nothing, lawman. They say you're the fastest gun in the West. That ain't true. I'm the fastest gun in the West. The Wild West ain't big enough for the two of us. One of us has to go.
When you say that, smile.
Shoot out at the Trail Dust Hotel. You chicken.
You. What?
I don't get it.
You ain't gonna pay him, boss, are you?
Johnny! They say you're facing the Durango kid without your gun.
He ain't facing him.
He faced him! What happened to the Durango kid?
I knew that the Durango kid was allergic to anything that looked like a flower. So, I thought I wouldn't use violence. I thought that'd please you, Miss Annabelle.
You did it your way, for me.
Aww. The Durango kid coming to town was probably Lash's doing.
I resent that, Sally Sutton. I'm an honest man. I've got nothing to fear.
Come on, folks. I reckon these young people would like to be alone. Come on. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Move it forward. Get back to work.
You could have been killed.
I could have, but I wasn't.
If I had known what you were going to do, I could have stopped you.
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. And making you happy comes first.
Oh, Johnny. Oh.
Folks never did see the Durango kid again. I reckon he was so embarrassed about what happened, he couldn't face the music.
They say he sneezed from here to Mexico City.
I suppose there never was a fortune in chicken feed?
Afraid not. It was all a scam.
But the property didn't go to waste.
How so?
Miss Annabelle turned that old dust pile into a nursery for plants and flowers and baby trees. Next year, she's putting up a hothouse.
Imagine that. What happened to the Whiplash gang?
Alibi and Hopalot and the rest of them boys took off like the Durango Kid. Never to be seen again.
The sheriff certainly cleaned up trail dust.
And how?
The sheriff had the goods on all of them. Andy Allen got his herd back from Pinot Basin. Witter Jones was mighty pleased.
Oh, good.
What about Whiplash and Pearl the Pecos?
Judge gave them a choice. Pay back everything they stole from folks, or go behind bars.
Too good for them.
Of course, that left them penniless.
What about this hotel?
They had to sell it. Nellie Rectangle loaned me the money to buy it.
You own this hotel?
Yup. Now you know how come guns ain't allowed inside town limits.
Quite amazing.
Did Johnny Wright and Annabelle Rollins get hitched?
That's a good one.
How so?
I told you today was special.
Oh, promise me that someday you and I will take our love together to some sky where we can be alone and faith renew and find the hollows where those flowers grew.
A lovely wedding. I was delighted to officiate.
Wedding?
I got a nice buffet laid out in the dining room. Got dip too. Just had the floor mopped. You could eat off it.
Congratulations! So beautiful! Oh, flowers were the best wedding I've ever seen. I sure hope so.
The happy couple.
We're done with the mopping, Gabby.
Mr. Gabby to you.
The Pearl has sure lost her luster.
What do you want us to do next, boss?
Do the upstairs windows.
I hate windows.
Aw, quit your complaining.
Got any advice for the folks out there, Johnny?
Sure do. When it comes between the Buckshot and the Blossom, take the Blossom every time.